This is not the internet. This is the Metaverse. Hello pioneers. Today we're going to talk about digital citizenship because this is a new term that's just come to light on the Pi network. So my original plan was to take a look at all the hackathons that Pi network's been sponsoring. When I went on to Hack Harvard, when you mouse over this button here, you get this. And here it says Pi network social cryptocurrency is creating the blueprint for true digital citizenship. And this is a new term that I hadn't come across before. So if we go into CalHacks Live, under the resources, there's a Pi network starter pack here. And in here, if you go on the Pi network hackathon page, which we come to this, again, we get this digital citizenship. In the slide pack, it's also mentioned again. So let's have a look and see what this is. When I did a quick search, being in Australia, I came up with this, the Education Department website. Here is the curriculum that the kids nowadays are learning in school. There's a lot of different things here. It's good to see them learning all this stuff too. One of the things was this digital citizenship. So in here it says digital citizenship is acceptance and upholding of the norms of appropriate responsible behaviour with regard to the use of digital technologies, which I think we can all agree is quite a good thing. Under the lesson ideas, we've got this common sense digital citizenship, and this goes to common sense education. And if you come down further, it says this digital citizenship curriculum was designed and developed in partnership with Project Zero at the Harvard Graduate School of Education. So we've just come full circle. Now, when we think of digital citizenship, I think we think a bit more in the terms of something like this. But in reality, this is what it really means. So it's things like give proper credit to sources, report cyberbullies to parents and teachers, remember that everything you post online is permanent, get permission before sharing information about others. Right? Now, I'll give you a good example here. Like to give proper credit to sources, this graphic that I'm using currently, I just got from the internet. Right? So this was actually from this website, right? And they didn't actually have this graphic themselves either. Right? So they cited a source themselves. And this is where the original graphic came from. Right, so let's give them cite our source. Now, the whole point behind this is that you're giving credit to the original creator. Right? Now, I've mentioned this stuff before. With when we introduce blockchain technologies, then we have our mechanism to be able to give commissions and give credit to the original creators. Right? When we use their graphics and such. So this website might look like this in the future, where you could actually unlock with a micropayment. And then once you do, then you get your content. This also springs on to, if you want to use this content and, save image, then again we get to use a micropayment, that gives payment back to the original creator. So these are the 9 elements of digital citizenship. Now, first one is digital access. And this is the equitable distribution of technology, and not only understanding who has access to technology, but the limitations and consequences to those who have limited access to technology. Now, in our Pi ecosystem, this equitable distribution is one of our main priorities, right? Because, the type of people that we're dealing with the world are not always technically savvy, or have the education for this. Digital commerce is the buying and selling of goods, of course. This principle focuses on making safe and informed decisions when purchasing or downloading materials online. Now, we've got things like PayChain Mall, which gives us a nice safe haven for when we purchase goods. But as part of being a digital citizen, this is about education as well, because we're bringing in things like blockchain. So we're using wallets and using different types of payments. It's also about leaving reviews, for giving customer reviews to let people know how the experience was. In the peer-to-peer space, we're introducing things like escrows, so that people have safe havens for those transactions. And as far as education goes, because we're talking blockchain and all that type of thing, my personal experience is things with trading. I have a lot of friends who I have to help out with the technical side of things, and because they're not really used to it, and they want to buy these projects. And some of these projects don't go so well, and if they don't keep up with them, they have things like this meta loop, which my friend asked me to check because the price had gone down. And when I checked, they were actually doing a token swap to a new, because they were pivoting to being DeFi. And because they hadn't kept up with the project, they missed the cutoff date and they didn't do their token swaps. Right? So they lost all their money, and we're talking, tens of thousands of dollars. It's quite a large amount. So this is where being a digital citizen comes into play, and helping others, educating people, and bringing people into the new digital world, because there's a lot of technologies and a lot of new things that people need to grasp. Digital communication. Understanding the different modes and mediums of digital technology and when to appropriately use them. So this is things like, when you chat with your friends, you can just use normal chat. But if you're conducting business, perhaps you want to use email. With education, you can use YouTube or, Twitter Spaces. So, it's just basically picking the appropriate platforms. Digital etiquette. Understanding appropriate code of conduct and procedures when using mobile devices. It extends beyond recognising bad behaviour in that it actively encourages appropriate and responsible behaviour online. So this is about, not the don'ts, but the do's, So, don't go engaging in bad behaviour, but use, your better judgment and do things appropriately. I've discussed before how, people have talked about how in the pie chats there might be penalties once we get smart contracts coming on. I use Google Keyboard to, just do random chats just to get my usage bonus up. And sometimes that gets flagged by the AI as well, but I don't know what the words is being typed in. Like I said before too, with smart contracts coming in, these could infringe penalties as well. Digital literacy, process of understanding technology, how to use it in many forms, how to adapt when new technologies are introduced. So again, this is about being a digital citizen and educating people about all the new technologies, because we're talking about Web3 and blockchain. Things like, creating wallets and using passphrases. This is all brand new to a lot of people. Digital health and welfare. Maintaining sound technological practices to promote physical and psychological wellness. Practicing eye safety and ergonomics, and balancing screen time and technology usage are all related to this important principle. So nothing to go against there, and you got to realise that this is directed at school kids too, but it's good for everybody. I would extend this and talk about these Internet of Things and all the move to earn technologies that we're going to be introducing with Web3. I'm talking about living healthier lifestyles. Digital law, understanding and complying with online rules and policy, and how to use technology ethically. Right, so this is where we're going to be, things like the FATF, governance DAOs, elliptic and chain analysis. This is where all these guys are going to be coming in. Digital rights and responsibility are the freedoms that extend to everyone online. Examples of this include right to privacy and free speech. I don't have anything to add to that. It's all pretty self-explanatory. And digital security and privacy, electronic precautions to bolster online safety, secure passwords, not sharing passwords, backing up data, and using antivirus. So these are all things that as a digital citizen, you need to be aware of as well. So that was a quick wrap up of what becoming a digital citizen is all about, that all the younger generation are learning. And this is to get into all the digital smart cities. When you got all these connected cities, this is all the things that's involved. Transportation congestion sensors, water and wastewater monitoring, parking apps and kiosks, bridge inspection systems, self-driving cars, waste management sensors, lighting, fire detection, energy monitoring, solar panels, smart logistics and freight, vehicle fleet communication, drones, surveillance cameras, body cameras, wearable detection, and this is all powered through the broadband infrastructure. And you might already be living in a smart city. It's just going coming very fast, and they're building new ones, things like NEOM in Saudi Arabia. The Amazon's building a smart island in Greece, and there's a smart city summit next month in Barcelona. Freethink just released this video about how in Dubai they're currently expanding all the drones to see how they incorporate into a large city environment. Mobi, they're building a new economy of movement, right? This is for automated vehicles, with self-sovereign digital twins, where each vehicle has their own identification. And this goes into trusted trips. Of course, the internet's not going to be always there. We're going to have the Metaverse. This is where we've all got our enterprise applications, and when we go into enterprise space, this is all the digital twins and drone deliveries, and all that will be managed through this. And another point to this as well is advertising. And through all this piece, I've been having my ghost ads in there. I'm not sponsored by anybody. But I just wanted to show you an example of how advertising can be non-intrusive, and this goes back to being, personally responsive and, not being intrusive to other people's spaces in the digital world. So that's it. That's all we've got to show you on becoming a digital citizen. This is something that we're going to have to get used to. Like I said, we're all going to these smart cities and, all these new technologies and Web 3.0, all these digital wallets and passphrases and everything. So it's a lot of education that needs to come a pass, and you can see already that the schools are already doing it for the younger generation. So it's a case of trying to keep up, I guess. So that's about it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. This was all come out, because we're all pioneers, and Pi Network's talking about becoming digital citizens now. So I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, I'll catch you later.